Belichick confirmed he's been in talks with UNC about the school's head football coach position. There's expected to be a resolution one way or another by the end of this week. Let's flash back to what Stephen A. said yesterday on this subject.
I want to say this respectfully. I think that's beneath him. North Carolina is not in the SEC. It's not some big-time, football program. That's a basketball school. There is no question to me when I think about him, I think about the NFL and the NFL only. I think about the Cincinnati Bengals, who could use somebody like him. I think about the Dallas Cowboys, who could use somebody like him. I still would say no. Yeah. And that's even if it was Alabama or Georgia or somebody like the NIL. Bill Belichick? Are you kidding me? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no. All right, Kimberly, great to have you with us, by the way. We just popped you on. We didn't say hello. So, Mad Dog, you agree?
No, I disagree with Stevie on that. I understand the basic point that it's North Carolina and it's a basketball school. Yeah. But where is Bill going in the NFL to be a head coach? Maybe he doesn't love Lawrence.
We don't know.
McCarthy's not going to get fired. Mike Brown's not firing Zach Taylor. He's not paying the contract off. Mm-hmm. He's not going to the Jets. He's not going to the Giants. The Bears aren't going to hire him. Where's he going? Mm-hmm. What? He didn't get the Atlanta job last year. Who's going to hire Bill Belichick at 73 years of age in the NFL? Mm-hmm. So he looks at the landscape and says, hold on now. I'm not getting an NFL job. Where am I going to get a college job? His father coached at North Carolina in the mid-'50s, so there's probably some sentimental value there. He put a 400-page manifesto together. He can bring his kid in to be a coach in waiting who's now the defensive coordinator at Washington. North Carolina's got a lot of money. That school, that fan base is into it. That stadium's great. Lawrence Taylor played there, and he obviously coached Lawrence Taylor. So maybe there's a little romance for part. Maybe there's a little romance for Belichick. Maybe he goes there. What's the problem?
Hold on.
Why not? Because you think it's beneath him?
First of all, I do think it's beneath him. That's number one. Number two. Number two. Speaking of money, I think it's safe to say that North Carolina football money doesn't compare to the Alabamas of the world and people like Georgia and stuff like that. I think there's levels to this, money-wise. I mean, a public institution like North Carolina, I'm not sure about that. That's number two. Number three, listen, when we talk about Bill Belichick, okay, Dougie, you brought up Mike McCarthy, not the party from the Cowboys, Kimberly. You can go check your sources and other people just... Little word here from little old Stephen A. I'm not covering the NBA, NFL as a reporter or anything, but I'm hearing whispers that it is not a guarantee that Mike McCarthy is staying in Dallas after this season. That's right, I said it. It's not a foregone conclusion. Now he might stay. It hasn't been determined yet, but this notion that it's an automatic that he is going to remain the coach of the Dallas Cowboys, that is not true. Take it from me, little old me. You understand? I'm gonna leave it at that.
Cowboys.
Now let's get to Bill Belichick. When you think about Bill Belichick, he didn't get a job. He got let go by New England last year. The only people that was interested in him was Atlanta. Okay, we understand that. But have you seen how many teams have struggled with their coaching, with leadership, with having their ducks in order as it pertains to dotting their I's and crossing their T's to make sure that your players are doing the things that they're supposed to do to maximize their potential? There's a lot that's left out there to be desired. And because of that reality, I think that you see owners out there in the National Football League that are saying, wait a minute now, the man is a 6-time champion as a head coach, an 8-time champion overall. And considering what we're lacking, we might need to take a look at him. I think there might be more opportunities for Bill Belichick this offseason than there were last year.
Well, Stephen, I hope you are correct about that, because what infuriates me about this situation is that Bill Belichick, arguably the greatest NFL coach we've ever seen, wants to coach in the NFL and had one opportunity in Atlanta, and then suddenly that opportunity disintegrated. Arthur Blank, their owner, suddenly about face, this isn't the direction I want to go in. He should have more opportunities. More organizations should be going after Bill Belichick to coach their team. I thought last year, Jerry Jones, no offense to Mike McCarthy, but I thought bringing in Belichick, I love that marriage. I think Belichick in the NFL with Jerry Jones, let him take the microphone, let him speak, let Bill coach this team up. I love that. But I'm not convinced that there will be more opportunities, only because you had one team last year. And what frustrates me about the situation in the NFL is that if you bring in Bill Belichick, it's the fear that, oh, well, now he's going to have full control over everything. Now what happens to me? What about my job? Is he going to get rid of me? And that's not about building a winning Super Bowl championship team. That's about my ego and not wanting to be shown the door, which is
there's clearly teams with youngsters in personnel positions and executive positions that want their own clique. And certainly you're not going to invite Bill Belichick in there to disrupt that. But I think it's important to point out that a lot of them have messed up. And if you're an owner, you're thinking about the level of production and how you've handed the reins to some youngsters that Bill Belichick has forgotten more football than they'll ever know. And so you got to take that into consideration as well. And here's the other thing, Doggy, and I'll throw this to you. Far be it for me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Props to Pat McAfee and their show having Bill Belichick on. I think Bill Belichick has actually made himself a likable figure with a lot of the interviews that he has done. Even when he's not saying much, he's more talkative than he's ever been. You're seeing elements of his personality, giving the Manning cast props as well from when they have him on. You're seeing elements of his personality. Now, these are things that the players, the Rodney Harrises of the world and various others, Ty Law and others that I've known throughout the years have always applauded about Bill Belichick. Y'all don't know his personality like we know his personality. But that man has been on TV showing it. And I don't think even Bill Belichick realizes how much he's helped himself in terms of showing his personality. Everybody knows he's a savant in terms of football knowledge. We get that part. But they see his personality now. I think that's going to help him. I think there's a lot of people. Bill Belichick's going to have more opportunities this year than he did last year. And I think you can take back McAfee and the Manning cast if that happens.
I agree with you about the TV presence. I just don't think there's going to be an NFL job open for him. North Carolina's got money.
Yeah.
If SMU can make the playoff out of that conference, why can't North Carolina one day? He can bring his kid in. He can bring his kid in to be a ready-made assistant.
If anyone deserves a coaching job, it's Bill Belichick. And I don't care that he's 73. Age is just a number, okay?
But you're not owning.
And he doesn't look.
Well,
I'm just telling you.
There's no slippage. You don't look at him at 73 years of age. You don't look at him and see slippage. You don't see it. There's no slippage.
Give me the job he's going to get in the NFL.
I hope we are wrong and Steven is right. Because
I think it's going to be Dallas or Cincinnati. I think it's going to be Dallas or Cincinnati.
We'll see.
How much